In this part, we are going to be running some exercises on what we've learned so far. Now, one thing is this: you should understand that when it comes to programming, it is like a warfare. It is not just something that you do and you know it and that is just it. No, programming requires practice and so a lot of solving questions. Now, what I'm going to do in this place is I'm going to take us to a kind of a ground where we're going to be practicing some exercises based on what we've learned so far, and we put it in practice and you see if you're going to pass or not. So where we're going to come, given that I don't want you to install anything on your system, all you just need to come to is go to hackerrank.com. You can see it, hackerrank, just in this place, hackerrank.com, and click on enter. So you are supposed to come to this page in this place. So simply click on sign up. Sign up and code in this place. So after you have signed up, you put your name, your email, your password, then you successfully sign up and you log in. So after you log in, you should see a screen that is like this. Try to come to this. If you are not in any way, make sure that you're on practice. So when you're on practice, come to this 30 days of code. So we're going to be trying to be solving some questions here in this course. So click on this 30 days of code. In my own side, it's saying continue practice. So in this 30 days of code, you should see the day zero. The day zero is hello world. You might want to be like, oh, hello world again. Yes, in this way, we're going to try to run it as an exercise and make sure that you are signed up, you are in this place so that you too, you can get feedback based on what you've been learning so far. One thing about learning is this: you learn, you get feedback, you test yourself, you look if you know that part very well. If you don't really cover it or you don't really know it, you go back to it and you learn. Learning is a continuous process. It doesn't come to an halt. Whenever it does come to an halt, then you are no more improving. So click on this hello world. When you click on it, you can see the instruction. There is just a lot when it comes to HackerRank. They give you a lot of information to digest. Simply read all this information that you have here. So let me just go through it. It says in this challenge, we review some basic concepts that will get you started with this series. You will need to use the same or similar syntax to read input and write output in this challenge. This is just basically telling you what they want you to do. Go through it very well. Then you can also check out their tutorials if you want to learn. Now, this is the task here. The objective is just what they want to achieve, what they want you to learn. The task, that is what you have to do. To complete this challenge, you must save a line of input from the stdin to a variable. Now again, you can see that we are having variable here, and print hello world on a single line, and finally print the value of your variable on a second line. So you are printing hello world on a line, and you are now finally printing the value of the input on another line. Now a lot of this might be sounding somehow also, but let us look at further instruction. No, the instruction are Java based. We support submission in many popular languages. You can switch languages using the drop down menu above. So they're just saying that the instruction that they're giving you is Java based. A single line of text denoting input string, the variable whose content must be printed. Okay, now they're not saying the output format. This is the input format. They say it should be a single line. Now, a lot of things here might be sounding somehow to you. Just follow along, see me solve it. You too, you go back and you try to solve it for this one, just for this one. Now, the output is saying print hello world on the first line and the content of the input string on the second line. What they are saying is this: there will be an input, for example, when you are filling form. When I say go and register for this, go and you input something. That is where this is coming from, not your own. Not your own in this case, but like I said, this course is you building stuffs like that. So they are using stuffs like this to get inputs from you, although maybe in another language. Now, sample input is this: welcome to 30 days of code. Now, the sample output is hello world, welcome to 30 days of code. You are printing this hello world irrespective of anything. Then anything that entering, that the user is entering, just like you enter into your register or something. Now, this is the explanation. In the first line, we print the string literal, which is hello world. The string literal means it's coming out as string. When you put something in quotes, that is when you have this literal, string literal. On the second line, we print the content of the input string variable for this same case. So if you read into all this, what they're just telling you is this: they want you to print hello world and they want you to print welcome to 30 days of code. That is just what they're saying. Not this welcome to 30 days of code. This welcome to 30 days of code is saying any input from any user. So if I'm putting Joseph, I want to see hello world, then the second line is Joseph. Anything I'm putting inside, I'm getting it out. So let's look into the code. Now, don't get yourself worked out over all of this. Now, you can just look into this. We create a scanner object to read input from stdin. Now, what this one is saying is that these are ways that they can get inputs from you. Again, I'm going to say, for example, you filled a form to get to this point that you want to register. These are the kind of ways that they put things together. Scan, for Java, these are the kind of way that they put it together. So this one is saying string input dot next line. Now this one will read the full line from here. That is, when you are entering something, this will read everything in. Now what this part is also saying, this part is representing this as variable. This is the name of the variable, which we are still going to dive into. This is saying the variable should be string. We are still going to dive into the data types and how you will enter into variable. But this part is variable. This is a variable name. Now, what they're not saying is that this one, don't just bother yourself about this. This simply means everything that you start here is closed. Now, in this part, they are saying, okay, system out.println hello world. You remember this system out.println from the code diva that we use, that it is just bringing out hello world. That means they've solved half of this thing for you. If you are not seeing it, if you are not seeing this one here, you just simply put this one that I have here, but you should be seeing it in your own. That you have system out.println. So now your task is here to do, write a line of code here that prints out the content of the input string. This input string is this here, is the same here. So what are you going to do? What you're going to do is very simple. I'm just going to say system dot out dot print then you put this here, and what you are going to put here is different. You see, this one is, we call this one string literals. That is the name here, because you are just printing out what is exactly here. But in this to do, you want to print out this input, anything that is entered here. Okay, let us say this one now, someone put in Tunde, then you come back and you put in Wale. If you are printing in the second time, you should be saying Wale, not Tunde. So what you're just going to do is to copy this place, because you want to print exactly anything that is inside this variable here. So you simply put it here. So after you're through, you make sure you put this like this. Now this is coming from Java. Java is a very strong language. When you put this, it simply means, okay, you are stopping this here. When you put in every other thing, you make sure every lines of your code you ended with this that is here. Let me just cancel so that you can see it. Cancel, and I put it back. You make sure that it is there, just like you have it here, you have it here. This is a Java thing, like it's a strong language. So you come to this run code that is down here, and you click on run code. It will upload it in Akaran, and then it will show you, oh, this is correct, this is correct. What you can now do next is you click on this submit code. When you submit your code, it will test, and that means it is correct. So if you have this and you are able to get your feedback as everything is correct, congratulations. If you don't, there is no problem. Just go back to it again and look at where you get it wrong. Make sure that these things are case sensitive. When you write small letter here, it will not work. When you miss out any letter, it will not work. When you miss out this one that is at this last part, it will not work. Any little thing in programming, that is just it. It will not work. Also, you are seeing this something that is like black, the background. Yours might actually be in another color. You can come to this space and you can see that you have light here. So you might be seeing this. I think this is the default, but I don't really like this. I use dark. Or if you like this, you can also use this, but I prefer this for my own. So thank you. We'll see you in the next video.